Hey guys, I've got 7 nights of dinners to share with you guys. I've got some lamb cutlets, which I'm cooking fat side down. I've lightly seasoned it with salt and thyme. Got some thawed green beans and sliced mushrooms, which I'm gonna cook with the lamb fat after I've cooked the lamb cutlets. So I've got one lamb cutlet that's really thick that's still cooking in the corner of my pot, but this is the finished product. It was super delicious and way more cost effective than me going out to buy some takeout. The next dinner, I've got some salmon fillets. I generally give it a quick rinse, then pat it down with some paper towels, lightly season the skin with salt, and cook it skin side down in some olive oil. I've also served it with some mashed potato and some green beans, which I've sauteed with a bit of garlic, butter, soy sauce, and Chinese cooking wine. It was so good. This next little thing, I think it's called tteokbokki. I purchased at my local Asian grocer. It was $4 roughly, which is pretty expensive for a tiny 120-gram packet, but I wanted to give this a go. So it's essentially like a rice cake, I think, and it comes with sauce. I've cooked it as per instructions. It was in Chinese, so I had to Google it. And then I also added some melted cheese on top. There was some leftover sauce, so the next day I decided to reserve the sauce, cook it, and serve it on top of some rice. So I've got some egg that I ended up cooking, sunny side up egg with a side of kimchi, melted the cheese, and added that on top, which was a nice, yummy, simple meal. Next day was a bit of meal prepping, so I started by cooking some chicken thighs. As usual, I don't use oil because chicken thigh releases quite a bit of fat. Here I've got some chopped avocado in lemon juice and salt. I've also finely diced up a little small baby onion, and then I've cut some cherry tomatoes, roughly about a punnet's worth. Then I've served that on top of some white rice with my grilled chicken, and I've added a teriyaki glaze on top of my chicken as well. Next meal, I've got some chicken thighs cooking down again, no fat, no oil, I mean. All that juicy, fatty stuff you guys see in the pan has come out from the chicken thighs because they're quite fatty. I've got some sliced onions here, some black beans, and some salsa. After the chicken's pretty much 75% cooked through, I add in my onions and let that cook in the chicken fat. So as you guys can see, I'm going to start to add it in now. If it's too fatty for your liking, then you can spoon out some of the fat or use a leaner cut of meat such as chicken breast. But I find chicken breast is a little bit too dry, so I prefer cooking with chicken thighs. I've also minced up some garlic here, probably 2 to 3 small cloves, but because I had a big, massive clove, I only used one. Chucked that in the pot, added some smoked paprika, and also added the black beans, which I strained. In the next clip here, I'll show you guys that I also add in the salsa. So this is the, I think, Coles brand salsa I picked up from my local grocery shop. It was pretty tasty, and I think it was the most cost-effective option in store. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then mix everything through whilst I've got some white steamed rice on the side. You can also serve this on top of some corn chips as well if you like, but I prefer having this with rice. And then I also have a side of tomato avocado salsa that I made prior, and I spooned on a little bit of leftover sour cream that I had from my previous meal in my latest video where I made stroganoff. In this next clip here, I'm showing you guys another meal prep. So I'm just boiling some pasta shells. I've chopped up some onion, garlic, thawed some peas, thickened cream, and loads of bacon. I probably used about 500 grams of bacon because I purchased a pack that was 250 grams, but I still had a bit left over in the freezer, so I used that as well. So I just saute everything through. I don't add any oil because, again, bacon has fat. So once that's all cooked through, I add in the peas and the thickened cream. Now, if you want to cut back on the fatty cream, you can add milk instead, but it's not going to be as rich, so I prefer adding cream. And then I basically just serve that on top of my pasta with a light sprinkle of cheese and some smoked paprika on top.